Do you think, just for a second, that blue might be the colour of the season for Apple? This is EFTM, and this is my review of the Apple iPad Air. So, I've got a blue watch, blue iPhone 12s, and a blue iPad Air. Now, an iPad Air in blue is not really that sensational, but I actually think putting colours into the iPad lineup is a brilliant move because, well, they've been a bit stale. So adding that little bit of flair does add to the product. And what I think we've got here, and this is the entire iPad lineup. You got your big Pro, your little Pro, this is the old model without the LiDAR scanner. You got your Mini, you got your standard iPad 8th generation, and right here in the middle, smack bang in the middle, is the new iPad Air. Now, at a quick glance, it's very important. This thing is almost identical in form, shape, and everything to the small version, the 11-inch version of the iPad Pro. And I think that's important because I don't know where this sits in the lineup anymore. Now, I know that the current version of the iPad Pro has a LiDAR scanner like this big one that I have here. That's impressive, great camera, wide angle, but this has a better processor. This has an outstanding screen as well. This has a bloody good camera. And this has a fingerprint reader. I gotta be honest, I'm loving the return of Touch ID. It's actually fantastic to use in this form, but when you've got your device, and I'll show you in the keyboard later, it's not quite comfortable and convenient. It's not as comfortable and convenient as holding it in your hand. You're kind of reaching over and touching it. So it's a bit strange there, but I think most people would look at this and go, wait, why can't we have that in an iPhone? Because I love Touch ID. So much better for Apple Pay than Face ID. I think most people agree with me on that, but we digress. The slimline, straight-edged form factor is, again, Apple's moment to shine because this is the style of the iPhones, of the iPad Air, and of the existing iPad Pros. It's really only a matter of time before your maybe 9th or 10th generation, but probably 9th. iPad go into this form factor as well, because you think about it, even though this is a much more affordable model, there's nothing really to stop them just simply making the chassis a different shape. They don't need to increase the specs and the power and stuff to do that. And the dear old iPad mini could probably do it with a refresh as well. I've been using this for a few weeks as essentially my daily driver, and paired with the Magic Keyboard, because it works with the Magic Keyboard of the smaller iPad Pro, you've got yourself a genuine laptop replacement here. Now, this gets me to that point of, I don't know why you buy the smaller iPad Pro, because I'm not really, I love LiDAR. I think it's amazing that we do all this AR stuff, but I feel like this is cart before the horse kind of stuff, and Apple needs to innovate in that space. They need to show LiDAR and AR so that developers will come, build it and they will come. But right now you're talking hundreds of dollars difference in price. This guy here is something like $8.99 Australian, and with Wi-Fi and cellular, it's a touch over $1,000. It's a beautiful sweet spot for a high-end, beautifully designed, high-performing device. So there it is sitting in the Magic Keyboard case, that elevated raised look, great keyboard, trackpad, really good option for people who are going, so our computer at home's busted and it's going slow. What do we need? We don't need a new computer. You don't even need a laptop. Just buy an iPad. You can do your social media, you can check your emails, you can browse the web, you can stream all the things in the world, plus there's a whole range of more power in there too to do gaming and the like as well. Bottom line, it's a strange place in the lineup. Given the iPad Pro's presence, you could easily assume that the iPad Pro 11-inch doesn't exist, and it simply went from this stunning iPad Air up to the large form factor iPad Pro. But let's assume there's big design, graphic design, game playing people who really love the performance that comes with the iPad Pro and its camera, and you have to assume that the next generation of the iPad Pro will have the A14 Bionic, or 15 perhaps. This is a really impressive lineup now you think about it. $499 for a standard iPad, $899 or so for this frankly beautiful iPad Air. They've done a very good job with this lineup, and I think it really pushes people up into this range, and I think this ends up being the sweet spot, and I couldn't be more impressed with the Apple iPad Air. Full review, full details at EFTM.com.